It started with a knock on my door. Not a friendly one. I live on the edge of the Willow Creek Meadows subdivision. My property isn't part of the HOA, but I own a large grassy plot that borders their clubhouse and event lawn. I've kept the land clear, mowed, and legally fenced, mostly to keep it nice for the occasional barbecue or camping weekend. It's private, titled in my name, and outside the HOA's jurisdiction. So imagine my surprise when I stepped outside one Saturday to find dozens of cars, luxury SUVs, minivans, party buses, parked all over my land. The grass was torn up, oil stains everywhere. A bounce house was inflated against my back fence. Children were running across my property like it was a public park. In the middle of it all, a woman named Tamara Filburn, known throughout the neighborhood as the Queen Bee of the HOA. She was standing under a pink balloon arch with a sash that read, "Birthday Diva," directing guests with a megaphone like she was hosting a music festival. I approached calmly. "Excuse me, why is your party parked on my land?" "Oh, hi," she said cheerfully. "We needed more parking, so I talked to the HOA and we just used your lot. You weren't answering your door, so we figured it was fine." "You mean you trespassed?" "It's just for a few hours," she chirped. "Don't be a grump." I looked at the HOA president standing nearby. He shrugged and said, "We voted and approved it for community use. It's a temporary accommodation." I showed him the land deed with my name on it. His eyes barely glanced at it. Tamara added, "You should be grateful. This is a prestigious event." I walked back to my house, furious, but silent, because I had a plan. That night I made a few phone calls. You see, I'm a property consultant by trade, and one of my best clients, a private event vendor, had just told me he needed a temporary storage lot for his business vehicles. He was willing to pay top dollar for any accessible land near a major road. I smiled and said, "I have just the spot." By Monday, I filed a temporary business use permit and listed the land for private auction, for licensed parking and event storage. The condition? All previous trespassers would be barred from bidding. The winner? A company that owns tow trucks, dumpsters, and portable toilets. They paid double market rate for exclusive access for 6 months. Within a week, the land was transformed. A tall privacy fence was installed. Security cameras were mounted. A keypad-locked gate was added. And, best of all, a large red sign now read, "Private lot, no HOA access. Violators will be towed at owner's expense." Tamara and the HOA were furious. They held an emergency board meeting and demanded I reconsider. Tamara claimed I had ruined the aesthetic of the neighborhood. One board member even offered to pay me $500 to just leave it open for community use again. I refused, politely. The very next weekend, another party tried to park there, this time for a baby shower. My new tenants had them towed within 15 minutes. Tamara tried to file a complaint with the city, but everything was perfectly legal. My permits were valid. My land was secured. And best of all, the HOA had zero say in what I did with it. Turns out trying to use someone else's property without permission doesn't just make you look entitled. It can cost you community parking access forever. Moral of the story? If you're going to throw a party, make sure you're not standing on land someone else can sell out from under you.